Hey everyone, Corrie here coming in to do the weekly channel message. This message is going to be for that week of November the 8th, and we are on the full moon and the lunar eclipse, which passed over early this morning. And if you did get up early or wherever you were, whatever your time zone was for us in Alberta, it was fully covered by like 5:35, somewhere around there. It's about when my dog woke me up. So there was a lot of energy with it. There is a lot of energy with it, and there's still going to be a lot of energy with it. But it's now the ending of the eclipse season, the eclipse experience. And we do still have all the full moon energy, and we have the energy of the eclipse because it's still in the day of. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that's channeling through. I just recorded a message, which I have never done because I've never recorded them. I write them, I speak about them, I channel them through in my notebooks, in my sketches. And that was from the Galactic Federation. I'm trying to build up my nerve to release it. I know it's because it's very out there. It's very different from a lot of my other work, but I am I do trans channel. So it's, I do step into that energy on a regular basis, and I don't even look for it. It just shows up. So, but it's something that I've kind of not shared. So it is in the unlisted. If you really truly are interested in that kind of channeling and you want the link, let me know. And I will send you the copy of the link to get in until I decide whether or not I'm actually going to release it to the public. In the meantime, here we go. We do have, and of course I'm still channeling. So I do have a lot of angelic energy with me tonight. And so the first thing that I had coming up for the angelic was I had Zedekiel, Archangel Zedekiel, and I had a Maribel. And this angel Maribel, and Maribel was a very different energy for me today. I've channeled Maribel before. I have a sketching of Maribel energy that I've channeled through as an angelic realm. And Maribel really truly came in with a pattern for me to also use, and Archangel Michael and the guardians are here. And so with Archangel Maribel, came with like this little design type of thing. And so often when I am reading, I do sketch. There is all kinds of information that comes and all kinds of different kind of symbolic little things that come with it. But Maribel had this energy of like, I felt like I was buzzing. And then all of a sudden I started to see, and I seen this with the Galactic Federation as well. You know, the Muppets, when they used to have them little, like those little things with the big mouth, you know, it's like really, they'd go up and down. I don't know where that's just almost like circus music started to come out, but they used to go up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, that's the kind of, and they were pinks and blues. And so that's what the energy looked like. That I didn't see puppets. I wasn't seeing puppets. I was seeing energy. And it was like it was going up and down through these holes of pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, blue. And then there would be like a yellow. And so there is a lot of that, the awareness of the angelic realm that is very present with me tonight as I am recording this for this week. And I did really pick this up as well this morning, and I picked up the Holy Realm as I was channeling through in the early mornings. And so the early morning sense of just seeing this clearing and how the sky cleared, and everything became so crystal clear to me. Everything in life became so crystal clear, even if it was just for a moment. There was just so much clarity, so much crystal clear energy that was becoming very obvious to me. And things were very obvious. That's the only way I can describe it, is things were very obvious. The world felt obvious. Everything felt so obvious, like it was so easy to see beyond and see through everything that was happening. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking today. And so the energy and where it's taken me is that there's going to be a lot of, obvious things that's going to start to appearing, which we cannot deny. And so there is some deep truth that is coming up, and some real honest conversations that kind of changes a lot of people around. And so there is that energy that's out there. I was also picking up and still seeing it. I am seeing like at the equator, I'm seeing like quakes, like quakes type of thing around the equator, around borders and equators, around the equator, around the equator. That's what I'm getting, around the equator. And then I'm seeing a shift in like axles or poles or something of the earth, or the earth. And I'm just seeing like there's a shift and a slight shift. So I don't know if there's a shift in earth, like if earth has some sort of shifting that's happening as well on its axis. It just feels like we've moved. Like literally it feels as if earth has moved. Like I don't feel like we're in the same place we were like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It feels as if we have moved. Something has moved us. We have been moved by something. And by that, I also do know that there is a lot of energy that's saying we're going to be moved by something. We're going to have a lot of things happening that's going to have us in that state of feeling moved, feeling like very like emotionally kind of overcome with so that often means to me the appearance of the angelic realm, and just feeling that divine presence entering from out there and into here, being very present upon earth and being with us here on earth. So there is all of this energy. So I'm going to bring that into normal terms. I'm going to try to make this make sense. Okay. So I'll try to make this make sense, but that's the things that I am picking up. That's what I'm seeing. And a lot around that of the Marys, and very much picking up the Mary energy. So I'm going to run with this and just see where this fully takes us and see where we're going. I don't know why my light is so freaking bright, and no matter what I do, I can turn it down. And the minute I start recording, it's like the light just gets like boom in your face, kind of bright. So I am keep trying to adjust that. Adjust again. Let's see if this helps us and this works. And it's just, there's so much energy, so much that's happening. I have little sketchies everywhere. And so I keep seeing like Mount Shasta, and just feeling the energy of Mount Shasta. And I just feel like there's something active happening there. That is where there's the portal energy, the angelic realm, and there's just something that is there. I'm feeling. So I'm feeling this. I'm not feeling. I'm feeling, and I'm seeing, so much of this energy appear. But I keep going back to Maribel, and wherever Maribel comes in, and why Maribel is coming in. I did pick her up before as well, but I also have Magdalene, and so let's bring this into some common, like some normalcy here. So it is really truly time to be able to not to be afraid to speak your truth, to be able to say what you need to say. It is time to write your story is the card that comes out. It's the Magdalene's gift, and it's the ability to be able to share, write our story, to be able to, that everyone has a right to really truly write their story, and to be able to speak of their story, to tell of their story, and that you don't need permission. You don't need permission to be able to write your own story, to no matter what is happening in the world, whatever is happening around the world, you don't need, it's like, you don't need permission to be happy and to be in a place of joy and ecstatic in static energy, even if the world is going to shit. Like, it don't really matter. What matters the most is that you make yourself a priority. And so emerging from the shadows, and this is reveal what is hidden. And I'm telling you, there is such a reveal, like there's something being revealed. There's a revealed energy. If you can see, there's a line right down through her face, and one side is like that goldeny color, and then the other side is like more shadowed. And so we only give and see half of everything. Like every bit of truth we get, every bit of, what we visually see, we don't see everything. We see what our eyes can see, but we don't see there's more to the story. And so the only person that can tell your story is you, right? The only person that existed in your story is you. But also knowing the stories that we exist in not all full truth. And that's a hard one to sometimes take. But when we get honest with ourselves, we can say, when you really start to question things, and we're like, well, I remember things being like this, and I remember that. And I'm like, well, do you remember this? No. Do you remember that? No. You remember, and you remember it from the eyes of who you were, but also in the way that you're able to perceive it in the time that you experienced it. And also that you only seen a part of what was going on. So if you say, I went to visit someone today and they were so miserable, they're just so cranky, they're always complaining. I'm like, well, what else is going on with them? What do you mean what else is going on? I mean, did you ask what else is going on with them? Because complaining is like, it's a complexity, right? It is one of those trauma responses. It's one of the things that we do when something else is going on, when we are in fear, sometimes it's an absolute habit. And sometimes it's, and other times it's because there's something more going on and we don't know how to express it and we don't know how to communicate it and we don't know how to get that emotion out. So complaining is a way to, dodge that bullet of having to deal with the things that's really truly there. And so when you ask what else is going on, and you realize that, it's like not the person is a complainer, is the person has something more happening. And sometimes they're chronic complainers, and chronic complainers means that they've been doing that their whole lives and they may have learned it from someone else. But I'm not speaking about that kind of complaining. I'm speaking about, that sense of asking what else is going on, what else is happening, what else, what can we do for you? Do you need to speak about something? And seeing that there's more to the story and more in the scope that needs to go a little bit deeper to discover a little bit deeper. And that's the card. And then from the shadows is that it gives somebody opportunity to move from that shadow sense, from that, because that's the protection. That's what hides us. If you start complaining, people will probably go away. They won't ask about the rest of the things, but have the courage to not be afraid to stand up to your shadow. Don't be afraid to stand up to your own shadow. Don't be afraid to really look in, because in there's a lot of hidden information. And so recognition is also coming in, love light. So we have love light coming in, and love light is coming in the sense of like spirit to spirit. We see each other, spirit to spirit. And so there is a lot of spirit to spirit energy here. And that's why we have the angelic realm. And we're very, very much, expanding beyond our physical bodies. And a part of ascension into 5D and above is ascending beyond our physical limitations. It's about breaking down the programming and the conditioning that has held us so hostage to, to the stories, to the narratives, but also to the physical body, but also knowing that we're not here to deny ourselves the human experience, because we are here for the human experience. But knowing that the essence of this spirit within the spirit energy, the cosmic energy, the divine energy, that of higher consciousness, those places are areas for us to be able to access, for us to be able to go to, instead of always saying to ourselves, I wonder, and you're trying to figure out, or I'm so worried, I'm so worried, I'm so worried, I'm so stressed out, I'm so stressed out. Those repeats and those repeated patterns and the energetic hold down that they do, it's like a negative pull. It's like putting weights and dragging yourself back down when you're on the way up, when you're really truly starting to get somewhere in your energy and you're starting to move and you feel movement happening. And this comes down because we are moving into the energy of movement and being able to move and being able to move freely and to move through our own thoughts freely, to leave our physical body and to be able to transcend, right? To be able to do a lot of telepathic work, to be able to teleport anywhere, to do a lot of quantum leaping, to recognize that we are not limited by our physical bodies to location, to place. And some say, oh, I can't go anywhere, I'm trapped. I'm stuck in the house. It's like, yeah, you can go wherever you want. You just gotta place yourself there, because it's so easy to get somewhere else. You just have to go somewhere else. You just have to get to that place. And so that, that's a lot of the ways that we can really truly start to move beyond those limited thinking, the thing that really holds us there. And then moving on moving on up into a new energy, into a new shift. And so Mary Magdalene energy, the great spiritual teacher, knowing that her story was beyond the story that that was told, that she was so much more than the narratives of somebody else telling her story. And that, she didn't get to tell her story, or she did, but it didn't get shared because it doesn't suit the narrative of what you want it to be played out, right? And so she's really here to make sure that we share our own story, that it's our story, that we don't wait for someone else to tell that of us. And of course, I've written like 6 books on this. So, and and so this energy this week also ties us into deep emotions. This is the priestess of the light oracle. And so this brings us into deep emotions. And you can see she's putting on her identity. Like she's really truly putting on her crown. And she got this like unfamiliar feelings, the past life influence. So feeling something, acknowledging something. So putting on that crown, putting on that piece, and then recognizing I'm so much more, right? It's like, oh, I really am this person. I really am, I have this super powerful love energy in me. I can see the spirit. I can see my own spirit. I can feel my own spirit. I can connect to my own spirit. I can see through my soul journey inward that I have existed in so many more stories and so many more lifetimes. And I've also been in everyone else's story. So there's this sense of moving beyond the stories and the narratives and not having the story is into this unknown. So when we truly start to step up into a place of becoming, is that, there's a whole new set, a nuance of new emotions that is coming up, that we're here to feel, that we're here to connect to. And they're feelings that are unfamiliar because we haven't been there to be in that sense of healthy pride, of sense of acknowledgement, sense of accomplishment. And this is where we're evolving our emotions. This is where we're starting to let ourselves grow, let ourselves evolve beyond there. And then we have power over difficulty. And there is a lot of difficult energy. There really is right now. Like, blah. But there is a lot of difficult energy, and we're not out of that difficult energy, and we're not going to be out of that difficult energy. I'm hoping to get the forecast readings out before the weekend for each sign for 2023. But there is and you can also purchase your forecast reading. And so the power of difficult is like reclaiming your powers. That what makes things so difficult is that we've given our power away. We've allowed it to seep out into all of the narrative, all the stories, all the fear, all of the things that have taken us and held us, divided us, all of those. And the difficulties. So the moment someone says, oh, it's going to be so horrible out there today, the roads, the weather is going to be so horrible. So you could just sit there all day and go, oh my God, it's so horrible. Or you can go out and find another way that's safe, not have to go probably out on the highways, but you can go out and say, play in the snowstorm, or, play on your deck play in the deck, build snowmen, do something. And it's not so horrible then. Right. And that's how you start to bring your power back, is that I am in control of how I'm going to feel today. I am in control of how I'm going to see my world. I'm in control of how I'm going to create my world. And I'm in control of how I'm going to show up in the world. And it is a choice, and we get to choose it. And that's this week's message, that you truly can move beyond the difficulties by truly moving and shifting the power, bringing back in and working from that inner authority to be able to know that I get to decide. And when I decide, then I am accountable and responsible for what is happening within me, what I am allowing in to my space, and what I'm allowing to have such power and such control over me. And the angelic realm brings in the forces of the virtues to remember that we have the strength to be able to overcome even the things that are trying to test us and challenge us, and to be able to just say, I'm going to make peace with that. And this is from my deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle. And this is Peaceful Perspective. It is Paisley. And, and she's still holding on to something over here. She hasn't fully let go, but she's making peace. She's looking with a new perspective. So she's putting in this thing called effort. And everything does take effort, and miracles happen by action, right? We got to be a willing participant in our own lives in order for miracles to take place. It means self-love, self-care, self-awareness of the value and the importance of us and of the power that is within. And so I hope she just didn't do what I think she did. And so then we have the Seraphant of Pain, which is Jules. And this is about being able to surrender surrender into knowing that, you know, the extra, the added on pain that we cause ourselves is that we keep the narratives of the stories that is not even our truths. We keep it going, we keep it alive instead of truly just surrendering and saying, that's not me, that's not my story, and that's not my life. And I am choosing, and this is now, so this card is Mia Moore in the old deck, but this is Magdalene in the new deck. So in the newest copies. So I've added Magdalene into the deck. And so I wanted to make sure that those power of those women who had to make some tough choices and decisions and had to go into hiding and, you know, make choices to really truly be in that sense of being free to a degree of not being right in the action of where the most angry energy was. She shifted, she made the move, she did what she needed to do to be at peace, right? To be able to be at peace with what she had to do and to create as much of a peaceful environment as she could. And so Magdalene coming in, she is truly about, and she is about eternal. And our eternal energy is unconditional love. And when we open our heart and allow our hearts to open, and why the turtle for me, because the turtle represents the turtle island energy. And it, you know, the 12 cycles that also go around here on the turtle's back, but the turtle carries its own protection. It can go inward when it needs to, and it can be free, but it knows where it can go to feel safe. It knows where it can go to get out of that dangerous place. And as do we. We know that we can go inward to seek wisdom. We know that we can go inward to be able to find the protection, to find those things that we can retreat when needed be. But knowing that being always retreating, always hidden, always hiding then we're not really living. And we are here to live. We're here to be alive, and we're here to be actively alive, and allowing our hearts to open, to surrender over the rest into the Seraphant of Pain, to give over all those aspects of ourselves that is causing us more of that comes from that shadow's need to protect us, to keep us in hiding, and to be able to have that open heart. And I just remember, you know, my daughter and my dad having RSD, and their body tried to shut down a piece of their body, like their own body was rejecting a piece of their body because of a simple injury that then the body treated as if the whole part of the body was foreign. So it shuts down the whole nervous system, it shuts down circulation to that area, and everything clubs together. And it was like the body tried to protect itself against itself. So it made itself its own enemy. And that happens. We do that with our thoughts, and we do that with our words and our actions. And it really truly took telling that body, when we realized, you know, there was nothing wrong anymore. The injury was healed, but the body wasn't believing it. So we had to, you know, reconnect the body. We had to reconnect to something. And so really reconnecting, and I had to just keep telling my daughter that, you know, you're fine, there's nothing really wrong with you. The body thinks there's something wrong with you. There's, you know, it's the nervous system, it's the lack of circulation. Everything is trying to cut off that area and of her leg, her foot. And, you know, and if I had to listen to the narrative and the story that first came with it, was we were constantly being told she'd never be able to walk again, you know, she'd never be able to dance again. If she walked, she'd have a limp. She would never be herself again because it was left too long. It wasn't getting treated properly, and all of those things. And I'm like, I need to take her home to a new environment where all that she will hear is that she is fine, she is well, she's healthy, she is dancing again, and she's having her life back. And it was at home in the treatment and the repeat that continual conversation that I would keep having with her as I would massage and move the feet, and I would do Reiki on her foot and send healing energy and prayers. And then I just kept trying to move her toes, and it was so painful. And then all of a sudden, just like that, something clicked. And within a few weeks, she was fully walking. Within a month, within another week or so, she was dancing. So we don't always have, we don't have to accept everything that we are told as the only way or the only truth. That there may possibly be another way, and it requires us to have an open heart, an open mind, and faith. And the action that it takes so that miracles can happen. And I have bared witness to miracles. I have seen miracles. I've been a part of those miracles happening, and it happened within my own home. So I can tell you, anything is possible. Whoever needs to hear this tonight, or when you hear this message, I want you to know that you have the power within you to say to yourself, there may just be another way. And so if you're seeking another answer, get more opinions, get more, it's like I am totally a blend of modern day and blending it with everything that we need to use. I'm not no doctor, I don't do the work, but I do have a lot of faith. And because I have bared witness to a lot of people's lives go into that energy of healing in such a big way. And it can happen. It can happen. And so that's just one of the narrative. That's just one of the stories, because the power over difficulty for us was in the challenge of just, having to grieve that part, or starting, I just couldn't accept. And it was the whisper. It was the whisper, but that became loud and said, no, I don't accept this. Get her out, take her home, whatever it is, but this is not how it is. This is not how it is. And we just know. Sometimes we just know. And sometimes we just know that there's something more within us. And that's where we are in this energy, is that honesty with ourselves, to be really, truly honest with ourselves, and just say, am I doing all that I can on my part to live my most beautiful life? Am I doing all that I can to manifest and create the world and life that I want to live in? Am I too afraid to challenge my, the old beliefs, or what I have been so told? Or is there another way? And if there's another way, it means that I have to take action towards it. I have to start looking and seeking that out. And it's okay to say to yourself, I'm going to do that for me. You are worth investing into. I hope this message resonates with you. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. And much love to you all. And please just allow yourself to be able to bathe in this full moon energy. And as we start to move into some new transition, into some new energy in the next few days, notice that you pay attention to, you will start to feel a shift happening. Much love, and have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.